Hello everybody, welcome back to the table for a very special unboxing. For me, this is a special unboxing. Now, we're going to unbox Conflict of Heroes 3rd Edition. So why do I've got Conflict of Heroes Storms of Steel 1st Edition when 3rd Edition is right under? Going to take a moment for story time and then we'll get to the unboxing. So if you don't want to hear a story time, jump ahead a few minutes. My feelings aren't hurt. But if you're interested, this is why this game has special importance to me. So I'm thinking back, it's been almost 6 years when I really started kind of getting into war games, and I think this is war game number 2. My wife got me Combat Commander Pacific. I think she got that for me first. Like, we were looking around and I was interested. Actually, no. It was Panzer 2nd Edition. I got that first. Then she got me Combat Commander Pacific, and I thought, oh, those are great. And then when we were determined that, yeah, I really like war games, I'm going to collect them, on an anniversary that we had, she, in a bookstore, like a used bookstore, mom and pop kind of a shop, found this here, Conflict of Heroes Storms of Steel. So this was maybe 2000, it was either 2013, 2014, somewhere in there when she got this for me. And it was, the price was inflated beyond whatever, because this was like a collectible kind of thing, they told her. And she got it for me as an anniversary gift. So I was so happy. And I've got videos on the channel. If you go back a few years, you'll find, I may have done an unboxing. I did a from the box to the table to show how quick you could set up and play. Played this with my son. This is a wonderful, wonderful game. And even the original box that I had, I don't think I've got the original box cover anymore, but when I did one of my videos and I kind of told that story, I showed that the box was torn on like one of the corners. It was torn. It looked really terrible. And Uwe, the game designer, contacted me and said, hey, if you want to pay the shipping, I will send you a brand new box cover. And I said, yeah. So this is not the original box lid that came with the game. The original box lid was damaged from whatever storage that these folks kept. Anyway, this has just a lot of memories, a lot of great, good memories. This is the game that really kind of solidified for me, that yes, I want to be involved somehow with wargaming. This was it. And that brings us now, many years later, to Storms of Steel 3rd Edition. So that was 1st edition, now we've got 3rd. Where'd 2nd go? Well, they had Awakening the Bear 2nd Edition. They had, updated graphics and maps and counters and things. And then they went to 3rd Edition here. I think 3rd edition, I didn't check or confirm, this is just speculation by me, because I don't research things before I talk, there's a new mechanic for activation points and things like that, the cap points and stuff. And I think maybe some of that kind of changed this to a 3rd edition. So the back, first of all, the artwork, it's like the same picture, but I think mine is just faded with the years. But it's still an amazing picture. And I believe I heard somewhere, or I think talked with Uwe once at like Origins or something, and I know he's maybe mentioned this many times, but I think the person who did the painting, if I remember right, is a pacifist. So they did this amazing artwork, and they don't like war, which is cool, because why should we like war? We just play the games. And so it's nice to see the pictures here, and it's brightened up quite a bit. So either this is how it's supposed to look, and I think mine might just be faded with time. So the box size is a little different, but it's amazing to have. I'm so excited to be a part of sharing this experience with all of you. So anyway, that's the chatting for the 5 minutes. So what we'll do is reset the camera. I'm going to pre-cut some of the plastic, then we'll come back and see what's inside. Thank you very much. Be back in a moment. Alright, through the magic of technology, I took a little break. We're here. I've cut the plastic. I don't know about you, but I've debated many times if I should just pull all the plastic and then open the box, because sometimes I realize that's what people want to see. It's just open the box, show me the contents, save your stories for another time. But on the same token, same other hand maybe, there's something oddly satisfying about watching someone rip all the plastic off the box and seeing it come open fresh. So you're getting the shrink wrap fresh opening. Ooh, just so excited. I can feel the energy, the positive vibes. Oh man, I knew they had some storage solutions in here. This goes beyond the beyond. Look at that. Amazing counter storages. Now, these are possibly things they've had for a little while, kicking around, but to see them in hand and in person is fantastic. I'm gonna have fun putting this together. So we've got a storage tray. The storage tray's got 3 wells to it, and I can feel the ridging here for counters in the middle. Cards obviously are gonna fit on the outside. We've also got, now I've seen these X's used to mark some things. Only guessing because I haven't read the rules yet. They're right here, but we'll find out how those are going to be used later on, probably in the review. Then we've got another one. So that's 3 of these really, really good. Oh, this one here is all counters, I can tell there. It's got a spot in the middle. You could probably put dice or something. But let's see here. Two for cards, ridged for counters, and then counters. So you've got like 2 that are dedicated to holding the counters. That's amazing. That sure beats the little Ziploc baggies I normally use. So we'll put that off to the side. Then we have the Storms of Steel mission book. This is very hefty. Oh man, look at how gorgeous that is. I love the setup over here. This is a very slick book, let me tell you. That is really nice. The artwork in here is fantastic. So we've got mission 2. Let's see. A little bit about the missions, looks like. Setting them up, doing them. Okay, cool. Then you got the courier satchel. A little bit different than... This is... I haven't looked... I almost want to pull out the old books. I'm almost like, are these the same missions done a little bit? But we got 2 Panzer Grenadiers, 2 rifles. The original mission, if I remember right, you had all the Soviet defenders here in the little village, but you only had 3 Panzer Grenadier units that were moving up. So this gives the Germans a little bit more oomph, which is fine because it felt like the Germans were fighting an uphill battle in that. But this does remind me of that first mission. So yeah, that's very cool. Setting the stage for Curse. So you got a couple of things leading up to it. So it looks like we got a nice campaign coming up here. Oh, this is great. Lots of history on it. Wind or Sniper. Yeah, these look fantastic. Sovkaz. I can't pronounce those properly. But yeah, low counter density. This is why I enjoy the game. I want to say it's great for new players. It really is. And then each game is like a puzzle almost. It takes a while to kind of figure out the strategies that you need for either side to kind of crack the puzzle. But as far as the low density count, that's why this is sometimes a really good series. Like there's more, but just off the bat here, 4 German units to worry about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6 here is a reinforcement. So you're not dealing with huge stacks of stuff, and that is fine. It tells you what cards to use. Cards have been in the game before, but just a little mini card here. The artwork looks real fantastic. We'll crack a card pack here. Now we're starting to get into some, counter dense type of games. The complexity increases as you go. We'll look at the rules. Before, they used to have programmed instructions, so you would read a little bit, fight one of the missions, read a little bit more, and they would just introduce more content as you went. And that could very well be the case here. We'll find out as soon as we get into the rule book. But the layout and how this is presented looks fantastic. There's your maps, how they lay out. Yeah, this is really good stuff. Yeah, the wounded tiger, go in and get that tiger. That's got to get moving or defend it for however many turns. Yeah, this is really nice. Black Knights of the Steppe. Lots of armor in this one. There's the round tracker. Not many rounds. That is one thing that I always struggled with, is it's short. The game still takes a little while to play out, but you know, with 5 turns, you've got to really kind of put your mind to it to figure out, how am I going to get stuff moving and where's my objective. So it really puts you in the mindset of, how do I win? Tanks, 1 Tiger, 4 Panzer IV H's, 1 Panzer III, then the second commander's forces, quite a few more. So here's a nice armor scenario. And that's one thing I liked about the game, is the infantry and armor. This is one of the games where infantry and armor integrate together rather well. They have very similar rules to each other, and so you can easily put them side by side, and they're valid in how they play out. And I love the setup here, how everything is going to play out when you start. Doesn't mean that's how it will end, but you know, that's how it looks when you start. Lipsky, Battle for Cherkasov. Nice. Yeah, these look fantastic. I'm really digging this. Dance of the Totenkopf. Now, again, I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember how many scenarios we had originally and how this compares, but you've got 16 here. And this last one, 4 Tigers, 3 Stug Lifes, 5 Panther Ds, 2 Stuka air supports. So lots of good, strong German armor. And then you've got 4 Churchills, Lend-Lease, some KV-1s, Su-76s, Su-122. So big guns there. Some T-70s, some little stuff, some light ATGs, which could work on maybe the Stugs. Some T-34s, a Gaz truck, and you got a Sturmovik. The storm is coming. So this is nice. I don't speak German, so I won't pretend to read it. War in the East. Long is the way, rich and fruitful the earth. On her fields, death held its harvest. That's rather sad. Okay, so mission book. Check. Looks fantastic. Okay, I don't want to suffocate, so I'm going to put this away. Yep. Put that away. Alright, we've got the mission rounds here. So we put that out there, track the turn. And this looks like, yeah, your command action point tracker. Yeah, so from before, just briefly, and this is the mechanic change that I'm very interested in. It used to be you would roll, they had a couple mechanics, roll 2 dice 6, 3 dice 6 to determine your action points that you would have to spend on your units, and then you've got some caps. These are your commander points that you can use pretty much in any way to augment the field. It represents your abstract leader influence on the game, so that was fine. But what they've done now is, instead of having your well, you got the command action points, but your activation points for your other units, is they have like a special die 10, and I have to read that mechanic, but you're going to roll, and it's going to give you an idea of how many actions that unit actually spent. So you never really know exactly when a unit is done doing stuff. It's going to be on a die 10 check, which I think is very fascinating, and we'll talk more about that in the review and later on when we play some games with this to see how that mechanic works. But I was very anxious to see how that would work. So here are your cap trackers, and then the spent check based on your dice roll, because it's not exactly a die 10, it's an augmented die 10, and some of the values are repeated because it was to help simulate, you know, the uncertainty of how many action points you get to spend. So it's not just a straight die 10, it's an augmented one. So can't wait to show you that mechanic, because that's what I want to learn. Here we have Conflict of Heroes, the 3rd edition flyer, and on the back you've got some other games from them, and their stuff is always amazing. The only convention I go to lately is Origins, and they always have an amazing booth, and they always have these amazing looking games, so I'm very happy that I can bring you this amazing looking 3rd edition so far. Then we've got, yeah, I mean, gosh dang, I so want to just do a side-by-side between 1st edition and this, but these look great. This stuff looks fantastic. So we've got a player aid. They are single-sided, so probably what I would do is, if I was going to play seriously with a face-to-face opponent, probably would just make copies of these, so we would each have one. But again, these look fantastic. These are really, really nice. You might ask, well, Eddie, what makes them nice? Well, one, I like the color choices that they have. The font is easy to read. I like the graphics that they've included with the examples of what the symbology means. These are not overly symbolic counters with a bunch of crowded information. I do play games that have a lot more shoved in here, but it's very nice the way that they've kind of laid it out with like your firepower values, attack cost, things like that. So this works. And facing for infantry, which is kind of unique. Not a whole lot of tactical games have facing for infantry, but this is one that does, so that's pretty cool. And then same here, artwork is very clear to see what it is I'm looking at. I like the alternating color choices so that you can easily follow across which one you're looking at for the stats. And there's several different types of terrain, but with the clear art, it'll be very easy to match it up with the maps because they've updated the map art as well. So again, very good play aids. Then the rule book, which we'll kind of run through a little bit here. Won't spend too much, but looks great. Already shows you how to use the counter trays to hold everything here. Talks about your command action points there, prepare your battle draw deck. So really, the mission 1 setup, few things and you're good to go. Place. I love the graphic appeal to this. It sticks out to me. So I like the big kind of bubbles, if you were, say here's what you do, here's what you do. So this is very cool for them. You draw a pile, your turn marker, set up the first mission. Yeah, so almost like that instructive setup we're going to do. Here's what it looks like. Game overview. Note for returning gamers. We might read that one day, not on camera right now, but maybe we'll read it on camera at another time. But I'll read that here in a little bit. How to use the rule book is arranged into sections, with the first section consisting of chapters 1 through 9. Each section teaches you the rules you would need to know in order to play the missions listed. Yeah, so awesome. We are back to that instructional method. So you're going to read some information. Look at these color examples. Wow, they did a great job here on the rule book. This looks great. Good magazine quality paper. Well, I don't know if I want to call it magazine quality, but this is a good paper. I'm running my finger. It's not streaking, so everything's on here real good. Nice. Position, movement, roads. Again, good examples here for you. The rules were great before, so this is like just really taking it forward. Fire zones. I love the artwork here. Combat. Close combat. And again, we're at page 14. Not too bad at all. And a lot of those instructions, if you will, are these nice, colorful examples. Firepower on a white field. They're just calling out some things you might want to remember. Hits and rallying is important to know. Destroyed units, reducing your caps if you lose stuff. The cards, explaining the cards. The cards look like they have a little more information for me than the old cards. So we'll open a card pack here and just flip through one. Round and pre-round sequence. And then it says right here, boom, after reading those first 18 pages, you can now play missions 1 and 2. Then we get into group actions, which is a very important aspect of the game, actually. And then tax group rallies. Then we got hidden units, sniper units. Then you can play missions 3 and 4. Hills and elevation. Okay, then you get to the line of sights, blockage and whatnot. Mortars and artillery. And offboard artillery. Again, this is really funky art. I like it. I can't really describe how it is, but it's like they took a picture and then somehow made it look oil paint. I don't know. It's very, very clever. And there's like a hair baked into it. And then vehicles. Yeah, vehicles, a lot of games is you graduate from infantry and then to vehicles, but the vehicles aren't that much more complicated. It's just their vehicles. And they do have some unique things to them. But then after you get this far, after you hit page 27, boom, you can play all the way up through missions 5 and 6. See, if you look here in the grand scheme of things, vehicles, they only have like 3 pages. Because again, they're not that much more complicated to bring into the game, so they only need a couple of pages. Then we have, after you do that, and some special units, rules, missions 7 through 9, fortifications, obstacles. Gosh, even the tank looks really cool that way. German Stug. Flamethrowers, alternate player counts. Note from the designers. And then all the cards listed out for you to know what's going on. Yeah, great looking rulebook. And then we have some stuff here, the maps that are shrink wrapped. Alright. Just to go here, again to show you what those look like. Here comes the shrink wrap. You get, these are nice mounted map. They should be geomorphic like before, and they fold out. These feel good. I like them. Got a nice reinforcement strip to hold them together. Okay, so 1, 2. We'll just pop it open here. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so far 2. Grand total of 5 maps. Okay, this one does not fold. So that is, there's a punch board. Yep, I was wondering if they had that, but the old game had a few elements that you could punch out and then modify the terrain. So we've got a punch out element here, here, here. So several punch out elements. So it looks like 4 map boards, punch out elements. They're geomorphic, so you can arrange these, and with the punch outs arranged into many, many different combinations. Here's all the wheat fields, corn fields, fields of some sort. Maybe this was the cornfield. Oops, and this looks like where the first, I don't know how many people have played scenario 1 where you have your few German the Russian Soviet defenders up here, and you had like those 3 out in the open Panzer Grenadiers that were trying to move up and take this little village. But this looks exactly like that map, but redone. The graphics on this thing look amazing, and they're sharp, and they've got the hexes where the side is missing a little bit, so you see the corners of the hex, they kind of fade away in the middle. They're really nice, and they got points, but everything on here kind of fades away into the background a little bit. Really lets you focus on the graphics of the map, which is very pretty. Even the center dots, if you just don't kind of look at the map directly, it all fades away. So you're left enjoying the map, that immersion. My silica, which I promised not to eat today, and counters. So we'll look at the counters. And they've always had really big counters. These are huge, ginormous, you might say. So we've got admin, and they are ready to pop out. Oof. Yeah, this was something, this was a game where I learned if you just take paper, and I might do that one day, show you. But if you take like paper and glue it or tape it carefully to the back of these punch boards, then you can use these punch boards to store your counters, because after you play, you don't use all the counters all at once, so you just pop out the ones you're using, and when you're done, pop them back into the punch board, and then the piece of paper you've attached on the back side helps hold the pieces in place. See, like I'm already popping out that there ATG unit, but that way you don't have to worry about getting all kinds of, well actually, you know, I forgot, they gave me these really cool counter trays, so there's no need to do that. I'm going to store everything in the counter trays. Here's a bunch of Soviet forces. Yeah, these look great. Wow, the artwork on the vehicles really pops. That's like my favorite part. The infantry look really good too. Yeah, these are fantastic looking. And you got a few more German units, a few more Soviet units, and then yeah, the damage tokens for, let's see, vehicles here, the dark yellow infantry. And I'll put these back. Yeah, that was one thing I thought was really cool about the system, was the damage. It was more than just simply a case of shaken. You had a little bit of granularity, so you might draw light damage for a vehicle or something with it. It could still be operational, maybe still fire with just a mobility hit or something like that. So you never knew exactly what was wrong with something until you shot it again and you killed it, or you realize that your opponent isn't doing anything with it except trying to rally it. And then it was like, oh, they must have been really hurt. So I always thought that was kind of cool. Kind of gave it that fog of war just to the damage element. So anyway, you got your 4 counter sheets. You've got 4 maps, 1 punch board, the rule book, 2 player aid charts, your game flyer insert, the mission book. You have 4 of these cap point trackers. Well, 1 round and then 4 cap per 1 per player, essentially, with some rules reminders on the side. Then you have 3 of these really cool counter trays that come with it. 2 dice, and I'll have to look, but those might be, see if I can pop this off carefully. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, this does not go up to 10, just kind of flipping it around, but it has a 1, 4, 7, 5, 3, and then a 1, 2, 6, 3. So I don't see an 8, a 9, or a 10. So these are the modified die 10s. 10-sided dice, I just don't count to 10, and you get 2 6-sided dice there. And then I'm going to open one of these packs. Yeah, these markers are used for something important. Storms of Steel. Ooh, and these come in a nice, easy to open. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's like they designed this for me. Other than a little tapey here getting stuck on these last couple of cards. Easy to open. Veteran cards and some weapon cards. These are new. I don't remember having these before. Or at least they were maybe labeled differently. But yeah, these cards look fantastic and the artwork is great. And they've got that cool kind of, I don't know what kind of finish, that linen type finish where it's got that cool texture on the cards. These look great. And the artwork is fantastic. Iconic picture, Molotov cocktail. Yeah, wow, this is beautiful. Even the cards are really good looking here. Okay, now this pack of cards, they knew I would be opening this and they gave me one just to mess with me. I gotta carefully, alright, they love me not. What is this? With a barcode. There it is. Conflict of Heroes, Awakening the Bear. Then there we go. Now we got the battle cards. All those are the battle cards. Yeah, and again, these are really good looking. We'll need to shuffle them up. And again, they looks like they have slightly different information than before, so I'm going to have to learn how to use these. But again, really good cards. I like the artwork they've chosen, the photos they're using. So yeah, these look really cool. Mission, event, objectives. Good. I know that was a quick, pause the camera if you want to see them. But there it is. That is all the components here for Storms of Steel 3rd edition. And I can't wait to get this onto the table and start playing and showing you guys how this game works out, because it is a phenomenal game. Alright. And I got a cover here somewhere. I set it down. There it is. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. That new box sound. Let me know what you think. Have you played this before? Is this on your radar at all? What have you thought of it? I'm just curious to know. But I am very anxious that I can get more information out to you here pretty soon that you want to see, because I know you want to see how the game works. If you've not seen this before, that is one of the questions where people say, hey, what game should I start with learning wargaming, and this is one that comes up a lot, the Conflict of Heroes system. So if you are kind of getting into this, just stay tuned, because we'll put out some more videos for you. If you have any specific questions about it, let me know, and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot. Bye.